Good morning, everybody. It's we've gotten the Hall of Fame election results, and boy, I gotta tell you, I'm extremely happy. I want to know your guys' thoughts. I am. There are a lot of people, of course, that are gonna bitch no matter what, and I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But super ecstatic. Congratulations to Scott Rowland. Scott Rowland is in Cooperstown. 100% deserves it. Was one of the best defensive third baseman of all time. Was a very good hitter. You combine those two, Hall of Famer. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Would love to hear what. If you disagree with that, would love to hear your reasoning. You can drop that in the comments. Would love to hear. Would love to hear. So congrats to Scott Rowland. Definitely think he deserves to get into Cooperstown. Will he be wearing a Cardinals cap? Will he be wearing a Phillies cap? I'd probably say it's either a Cardinals cap or he's going in with a blank cap. It's not to say I think people overrate or think he absolutely hated Philly to the core. Like I don't think he hated Philly that much. It's just some some bad riffs with the manager and front office from what I understand. So I don't think Rowland hates Philly, but I don't think he would be going in as a Philly. It's either a Cardinal or as a Philly. But again, Scott Rowland deserved it. Super happy that at least one guy got in this year. I mean, I think all of us were very scared that it was going to be zero again in back-to-back years. And whether you not you thought other guys deserved it, which I did, which I'll get to in a second, at least one guy got in. At least we got one to go along with Fred McGriff. So Scott Rowland on the writer's ballot, 76.5%, I believe it was. So just, I think, was 5 votes above what, the threshold that needed. So congrats to Scott Rowland. Congrats to him. Definitely deserves it. So again, happy that at least one guy got in. And the next couple I want to get to are the people that really complained, that people complained about that didn't get in this year. And man, these guys are going to get in. And I'm talking about not Scott Rowland, Todd Helton, Billy Wagner, Andruw Jones, those 3 names. And the fourth, I didn't think he deserved it, so I'll briefly mention him. But Todd Helton's borderline for me, but in his 5th year, gets 72.7%, he's going to get in. Unless he takes a dip and where people take back their votes. And I don't see like a crowded ballot in 2024. At least I'll have to double check. But I don't see a crowded ballot like that. I think Todd Helton is 100% going to get in. So all the people that, are bitching about Todd Helton, in his 5th year gets 72.7%. It was either his 5th or 6th. Either way, he's going to get in. 72.7%, he's going to get in. Billy Wagner, in his 9th year, gets 68.1%. I think Wagner's going to get in. I think people were screaming and hollering about Wagner. I think Wagner's going to get in his 10th year. I think he jumped from, what was it, 46.4% last year, I believe it was. And this year gets 68.1%. I mean, that's a 24% jump. Wagner's, I got to believe he's going to get in next year. Now, you can hoot and holler next year if he doesn't get in. That's a different story. I do think Billy Wagner's a Hall of Famer. Again, you can watch my recent video, If I Had a Vote. I put my ballot out there, if I had a ballot, obviously, because there are some people out there that actually think I have a vote, which was stunning to me, and I'll take it as a compliment, sure. So Billy Wagner, 68.1% in his 9th year. I do believe he'll get in next year, but there are people out there that are saying, oh, why didn't this guy? I think Billy Wagner's going to get in, okay? Andruw Jones, again, this was his 5th year on the ballot, I think. He goes from 7.5 and 19, 19.4 and 20, 33.9, 21, 41.4, 22, and then this year, 58.1, 17% jump. I mean, that's a 25% jump in the last 2 years. I think Andruw Jones is going to get in. I think people have really caught on to, the incredible defense, kind of like a similar thing to Scott Rowland, incredible defender. To go along with the offensive numbers, I like Andruw Jones will get in. So we can bitch and moan about Andruw Jones. I think he's going to get in. He's going to get in. So stop bitch. He's going to get in. Don't worry about it. And then Like another one, I'll say like the last one people were really bitching about. I felt like, it was a high volume of bitching about a player was Jeff Kent. And I don't think he deserved it. That was his last year on the ballot. Again, you can watch my video on If I Had a Vote, and I talked about Jeff Kent. Again, if you really want me to do a video on Jeff Kent, a really elaborated response, let me know. I'll do a video. Maybe I'll end up doing a video because this was his last year on the ballot and he didn't get in. And maybe I'll talk about why I didn't think he should have got in. And he didn't. I believe he finished at 46.4. I have the numbers right here. 46.5. Final year on the ballot. Got 181 votes. So 46.5. I don't think Jeff Kent's a Hall of Famer. So like people are bitching and moaning. I didn't think he deserved it. A-Rod, his second year on the ballot. It kind of gives me Manny vibes. Manny Ramirez, and I'm going to get to him in a second. So his first year, 34.3. A-Rod's second year this year, 35.7. Goes up just to 1.5%. Like Manny just got 33.2, and Manny, like for a while, was just in like the 22, 23 to 28% range in the last 5 to 6 years. Not much movement. And then gets 33.2 this year. I kind of see the same thing with A-Rod. Like A-Rod, I don't. If there was any hope for him to like maybe really have a shot later on in the years, and maybe there will be. Maybe I'm wrong, but right now, the vibes I'm getting is people. There's not gonna be much moving with A-Rod. And A-Rod, I'm not big on because he actually, cheated multiple times when there was testing, and you can't do that. Sorry, not in my book. You're not a Hall of Famer if you're doing that. Same thing with Manny Ramirez. I mean, he got caught like 3 times. Like, great. I thought he was an amazing hitter, but you don't get caught a million times and able to stay on the ballot. But I just kind of foresee that same type of trajectory with A-Rod so far. But who knows? Maybe A-Rod will get in later down the line. So those are my big ones. The other ones I'll just kind of briefly go through. Like Omar Vizquel, 19.5% this year, or 6th year on the ballot. The domestic abuse thing kind of killed any chance he had. I mean, he started out in 2018 at 37%, and he peaked at 52.6 in 2020. So the domestic abuse thing really, really got him. Maybe he wasn't going to have a real chance anyway, but maybe he was going to get close. I mean, I thought Vizquel, possibly had a case, but I still wouldn't have voted for him. So 19.5% not voting well for Omar Vizquel. Bobby Abreu, his 4th year on the ballot, 15.4%. Not a whole ton of movement. I mean, that's double from what he had in 2022, where he actually went down a 0.1 percentage point. So 15.4% Bobby Abreu, fourth year on the ballot. I don't really know. I mean, guys, certain guys jump in certain years and stuff like that. So you never really know. It's hard to kind of. I know this is the fun part, but it's kind of hard to get a feel for where Bobby Abreu is going to be in like another couple of years. Maybe the people that consider the sabermetrics, which is a lot of people now, will be voting for him, and you'll see a jump. I don't know, but 15.4%, not much to make about Bobby Abreu so far. Andy Pettitte, 17% this year in his 5th year on the ballot. That's a jump from 10.7% last year. I don't really know what to make of Andy Pettitte so far. I mean, it seems like he might top out at he might top out at 17. I don't know. Some guys just top out at a certain point, like in their middle years in the ballot. I don't know. So Pettitte, 17%. Maybe I do expect more votes from him in the future. I don't think he had. I think he had a pretty good career, so I think there might be people that come around on him, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Jimmy Rollins, gains 3 percentage points, 12.9% from 9.4 last year. So we'll see with J-Roll. I'm not too sure. I don't have. There were people that changed their mind. I saw Jason Stark talking about J-Roll, and he thinks he's a Hall of Famer. I don't think he is, but we'll see how people consider J-Roll in the coming years. And then K-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez, 10.8%. Debuts in the ballot. There's all I've seen MLB Network analysts and different people say, well, this at least he didn't fall off the ballot, or guys that debut at 10. Anybody has a chance. It's true. Anybody has a chance that can debut. That doesn't get kicked off the ballot in their first year. 10.8%, and maybe he will. I think I thought he was a borderline guy to me because I think Wagner is a Hall of Famer, and K-Rod honestly isn't too far from Billy Wagner. But again, I'm a big, you got to have all-time type of dominance to get in the Hall of Fame as a reliever. And Wagner had like that longevity of like pretty much 99% of his years he was dominant. Like K-Rod was dominant for a very good stretch and good stretches, but there were a few years in there that I didn't think were that great. So, or not that great, but just not super dominant. He was good. He was good, but you got to be great to get in the Hall of Fame, especially as a reliever and closer. So K-Rod 10.8%. We'll see in the coming years. I'm not quite sure what his trajectory is going to look like, especially with relievers are tough. Relievers are tough ones. So, but for the most part, I was happy with the ballot. I was happy at least one guy got in, and the other guys like Helton, Andrew Jones, and Billy Wagner, like those guys are going to get in. It seems like those were the names that people really were, hooting and hollering about, like, oh, they should be in, like, oh, the Hall of Fame did a terrible job. Like, they're going to get in. Like, let's relax. They're going to get in. So it's not too much to go crazy about. So again, I was overall happy. Congrats to Scott Rowland. I want to know your thoughts. Tell me who you would have put on the ballot. Go watch my video again, who I actually put on the ballot, what my ballot would have been. And I want to hear your thoughts. Put your comments in the, comment what your thoughts are, or your reaction to this year's ballot in the comment section. Let me know on Twitter at Rojas_media_. Got some stuff coming soon for the shift, baby. Some surprises in the coming weeks. It's going to be fun. So again, let me know your ballots and your reactions, and see you guys next time.